Bayern Munich have had a shocking winter break and have only got 1 point from their 2 games since. Surely we can't be looking at a genuine title push. Hey guys, I'm Adam, this is On The Break, and welcome to episode 5 of the RB Leipzig series. Today we have 2 games for you. First at home to Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, before we face Hoffenheim away from home in the German Cup. Since you were last with us for that incredible triple header, you can see that form has been good. We've played 3 competitive games either side of the winter break. We went into our break off the back of a 2-1 win at home to Paderborn, before we came back to competitive action with 2 wins at home to Wolfsburg and away to Fortuna Dusseldorf. All fairly routine wins, basic enough. If we take a look at the league table, you can see that does leave us top. We are 4 points clear now. As we mentioned in the intro, Bayern Munich have had a shocking return to competitive games. They lost 4-3 in a really thrilling match to Freiburg, I think it was, and then have just drawn their last game 0-0. So not good by their standards, and it does give us a little bit of breathing space at the top of the table. We are getting to the point now where we are looking at a genuine title push, which I didn't think we would be achieving in this first season. I expected us to be sort of in and around the Köln-Schalke kind of area, sort of up and around the top, but not really in contention. But we've been in incredible form, to be fair, and the teams around us just can't keep up. So I do think now it is down to us and Bayern Munich. The other teams that are capable of a title push are just nowhere near it. You see that today's opponents, Bayer Leverkusen, down in 8th, and they've had a real resurgence to get there. They started the season in shocking form. Dortmund down in 11th, the real surprise. They're far too good a team to be sat down there. But ultimately the table doesn't lie and they've not been good enough. So in other news, we did get the Champions League draw off camera. Sadly, I wasn't able to bring that to you. But our first knockout round will be Benfica, which, when you consider the strength of the teams that we could have had, is not a bad tie at all. I'm fairly happy with that. I think that's a tie that we can progress from. The only other bit of news that we have, the winter break does bring a transfer window. We've done no business in, but Patrick Schick is gone. We've terminated his loan. He came out in the emails in the first day of the window saying that he'd like his loan terminated. We were more than happy to oblige. He played 2 games for us, if that. He did score a goal, to be fair, but he doesn't fit the role that we use up front. And terminating his loan has allowed me to bring Noah Jean Holm into the first team squad. I don't see him playing a lot. He's still available for reserve football, so he will still be playing his games with the under-19s, but we'll try and get him a couple of games as and when we can. Fabrice Hartmann is a slightly more unfortunate case. I would still like to get him in and around the first team picture, but Sabitzer, ever since I kind of wrote him off a few episodes ago, I was saying that him and Cunha had been a bit hit and miss, a bit hot and cold, hadn't really done anything. You can see there that Sabitzer's come out absolutely flying. 11 goals and 5 assists in 18 starts. 10 in 13 in the league. And he is now our first choice right winger. He plays when he's fit. And he plays very well as well. So, Bayer Leverkusen for the first of today's games. The team we're going to go with is Invogo in goal. Back four of Klosterman, Upamecano, Konate and Halstenberg. With Ilsanker sat at the base of the midfield. Leimer and Campbell ahead of him, with Sabitzer and Lookman out wide and Timo Werner up front. Emil Forsberg misses out today. He's got a cold, so he's got a few days at home. Lookman comes in there. Other than that, it's a fairly first-choice team. Haidara for Leimer would maybe be the other change, but Leimer always does a decent job in there. So we'll submit the team and we'll get into the game. Bayer Leverkusen there lining up in the 4-3-3, matching our shape. Some really good names in there. Kevin Volland up front, obviously a threat. Leon Bailey, an incredible winger. Kai Havertz as well, sort of the next German wonder kid. Really, really good players in there. But they have been struggling. I think they won on the opening day and then maybe went 9 games without a win. They were drawing a lot, but not winning any games. So they have come back from a really sort of poor start to sit 8th in the league. But yeah, they've been struggling. They're in a decent place now. I think they probably will still qualify for Europe. Not a lot going on in this first half as we pick it up with Leverkusen knocking the ball around at the back. Keeper's clearance is nodded down and Paulinho picks it up out on the left for them. Plays it into Volland and they've got men running on us here. Volland goes right the way through and Arangues hits the crossbar, and then Vogo just about recovers in time to save the rebound. So Leverkusen do win the corner, and a warning sign for us there as Bailey puts the corner in. It's headed away, and Tar will collect, but it fizzles out to nothing. And we pick it up again with Leverkusen at the back, out to Bailey, into Volland. It's a good ball out wide for Paulinho. Cross comes in, and Havertz heads just onto the bar. We had a quiet first period, but it's starting to pick up now as we nod the ball on. We're putting pressure on their back four, but they do clear. Upamecano misses the header, but Ilsanker collects. As Mvogo gives it to Konate, out to Halstenberg. And we seem to be a little bit short of ideas. It's a lot of long balls over the top. And we give the ball away cheaply. But it's a lot of rushed clearances. It's a big ball over the top from Upamecano, and Werner's in. Lookman's shot is blocked. It's a bit of a scrappy game. There's not really been anything in the way of good chances as a tame header gets saved by Hradecki. As we do go into half-time at 0-0, very even game. Not too much quality in the game. I'm going to get assertive with the guys and tell them that I'm not happy. Lookman's short of confidence. He was playing poorly anyway. I guess Okafor was the option. It's a big game for him to come into, but he's not played much lately. We'll get him on and see how he does. I'm also going to change the midfield around. We're going to go for a double change, which might be a bit of a risk. But we're going to get Haidara on into that Mazzala role. He's been playing quite well recently. So we'll get him on and get the second half underway. See if those couple of changes can make the difference. So we're approaching the hour mark. We pick it up with Halstenberg into Werner, and Okafor lays it off to Campbell. It's a lovely ball out to the right hand side. Klosterman's cross is blocked, but he does pick it up again. Floats in another ball, and it's headed away and dealt with. But we come again. It's back out to Klosterman for a third time, and Okafor heads just over. So as we're approaching the hour mark, we're thinking maybe about one last change. I'm thinking maybe Poulsen for Werner. So we give the ball away cheaply there, and Havertz has it in the Leverkusen midfield. Knocking it around the back line, and Jonathan Tah spray it out to Bailey on the right hand side. Into Bender. And it's a decent ball out to the left hand side. Ball comes in, and Leon Bailey's there. It's going to VAR. It's going to check for an offside. But it is going to stand. It's 1-0 Leverkusen. And that's really disappointing. It's a decent ball over from Bender. Vendel puts the first time cross in, and Bailey with a smart finish. And Vogo's got no chance. Disappointing. I think we're better than this. I think we're definitely better than this. So we are going to make that last change. We're going to get Poulsen on for Timo Werner. He's had a poor game. And Poulsen scored a few important goals for us. So we'll get Poulsen on and we'll shout for 10 minutes of passion. And let's see what we can do to get something out of this game. Into the last 5 minutes now, and there's just been absolutely nothing. As we pick it up, Leverkusen happy now to just keep the ball. They'll knock it around. They're not in any rush. As we do pick it up with Ilsanker. Upamecano with the big ball down the channel. Sabitzer putting pressure on. We pick it up again with Ilsanker. And what has happened there? we do get the goal. It's a Jonathan Tah own goal. But that is the strangest goal I've ever seen on Football Manager. Vendel plays it back to Hradecki. He rushes the clearance, and Ilsanker with a massive long bomb. Poulsen reverse chests it, and Jonathan Tah on the volley just smashes it into his own goal. I have never seen anything like it. That is absolutely unbelievable. We do end the game there, sorry. It finishes 1-1, and I don't have the words. I 100% do not have the words for that. What a bizarre way to earn a point. We'll tell the boys they were unlucky. That's an absolute lie. They are the luckiest guys on a football pitch anywhere up and down the country at the minute. Okay then, so 1-1 draw at home to Leverkusen. Not a bad result, I guess. So, just quickly, before we skip on to the cup game, let's see how Bayern Munich do away at Werder Bremen. They are the late kickoff. Oh, and it's another draw. So they can only match our result. We do stay 4 points clear. Leon Goretzka got sent off for them, and then Füllkrug with a 94th minute equaliser. So that's the Leverkusen game done. I'm just going to skip ahead and we will bring you the cup game in 2 seconds. Oh boy, how wrong things can go in 3 days. The time between matches has been an absolute nightmare. Look at the state of this morale. The players are devastated, they're unhappy. Some of the happiest players are the ones that aren't playing. So we need to talk about Tyler Adams. Where is he? There he is, Tyler Adams. He has not been in the Champions League squad all season. He was one of the players that had to miss out because of the registration rules. And the first time round, that was absolutely fine. He had no problems. The registration window came about, and I did want to change some of the players that were in there, but I literally couldn't because of the homegrown rules. So the big one was I wanted to get Diego Dema out because he's not going to play. I don't trust him. I want to sell him. He's not going to play. But he's homegrown. And Nkunku and Tyler Adams and Ethan Ampadu, they aren't. So they had to stay out of the squad. Nothing I could do. And Tyler Adams came to me and was unhappy that he hadn't been put in. So I told him to get his head down and just get on with it. There was nothing I could do, so I couldn't promise him I could change it or anything like that. And then if we have a look at the inbox, where are we? There we are. Basically everyone was unhappy with me. That is basically the entire squad. Kevin Campbell, he's got my back. he knows which side his bread's buttered. But yeah, the entire team was unhappy. So I had to have a conversation with them all, and it went abysmally. Half of them were happy-ish. But 10 of them absolutely fuming. So that was bad enough. That ruined the morale. And then outside of the transfer window, we get an offer for Halstenberg, which I turned down because I got no interest in selling him. He's our first choice left back. He's one of our best players this season. He's played really well. But he was unhappy that the offer got rejected. So it was all about his wages. A move to China, generally, the player wants more wages. So I promised him a new contract. He asked for £65,000 a week. And if we have a look, he's already on 52. So great, lovely. That's a simple solution. An extra, 13k in the wage budget is nothing. So I went to offer him a new contract on the £65,000, but I took away the release clause that he wanted. He then instantly locked in that he wanted £84,000 and nothing less. But I couldn't offer him that. But because he had locked it in, I couldn't negotiate the wage. So I couldn't do anything but just walk away from the deal. So he's now unhappy that I've promised him a new contract and not offered it to him, which isn't true because he changed the amount of money he wants. So now Halstenberg's unhappy, on top of already being unhappy about Tyler Adams, and it's done that to the morale. So we could be in trouble here. The title race could be about to be decided in 3 days in between games. So I don't know what to do. We're just going to have to play on and do what we can. So we'll get into the Hoffenheim game. And this is the team we're going to go with. We've massively rotated. Quite honestly, if we lose it, we lose it. We didn't need a massive German Cup run. So we're going to go with Invogo in goal. Troublemaker Tyler Adams at right back. Upamecano, Orban and Vangerman. With Ampadu as the base of the midfield. Lima and Haidara ahead of him, with Mateus Cunha and Okafor out wide, and a full debut for Noah Jean Holm up front. This could be a bloodbath. This could be a side at all. And from what I know of them, which isn't massive amounts to be fair, but that looks to me like a relatively full-strength side. We have rotated quite a lot, but let's see how it goes. What do I even say to them? Let's try and... Yeah, they're not bothered in the slightest. Absolutely not bothered. They just don't want to listen to me, which I guess is fair enough based on what's happened, but I don't think there's too much I could have done differently. I couldn't have put Tyler Adams in the Champions League squad. I then don't think there was anything I could have said that would have made the players happy because it was the entire squad, so there was always going to be a difference of opinions. And when it comes to Halstenberg, I feel like the goalpost got moved a little bit. So I feel like there also wasn't a massive amount I could have done with that. But hopefully it's the sort of thing that will work itself out as we play through it. If we get another offer from Hausenberg, or for Hausenberg, we might have to consider it. We may have to look at moving Tyler Adams on. There are clubs that aren't in a transfer window at the minute. But I don't know if there's a solution where everybody stays in the squad and just becomes happy again. I guess we just got to keep winning games. As Haidara puts the corner in, it's headed down, it's scrappy, but it's in. Mateus Cunha with his 5th goal of the season. It's an assist for Holm on his debut. He is a big lad. As Haidara puts the corner in, it's nodded down. Holm does really well to win that. And Cunha is a scrappy finish, but they all count. And we do go 1-0 up away from home. So half-time is upon us. We are 1-0 up. Cunha's got a bit of a knock. I don't know whether that's from the challenge that led to his goal or not. Do I risk telling them not to get complacent? They're already complacent. Oh, I don't know if that's going to make them more unhappy. I think we're going to have to go for it. Assertively, don't get complacent. Okay, they're motivated. Thank God for that. I don't think I could have dealt with a bad team talk right now. Who are we going to put on the right-hand side? Sabitzer doesn't really need the rest, but it'd be nice to sit him out for a little while. I think we're going to get Lookman on. So he comes on for the second half. Big ball over the top from Baumann, and Hoffenheim are coming at us. Ox with the ball in. Vangerman heads away, but it's poor. And Rupp, straight from half-time. I wasn't even commentating the start of the highlight because I didn't think it was going to lead to anything. See that Hoffenheim coming at us. Geiger plays out to Ox. First ball in. It's a poor header away from Vangerman, to be fair. Rupp takes a touch. Keeper's got no chance. Finished into the bottom corner. They've caught us off guard. They've caught me off guard. I thought that highlight was just going to fizzle out to nothing, as it so often does. But it's 1-1 as we pick it up with Adams into Ampadu. Haidara to Lima. Back to Ampadu. It's a good ball into Haidara. Big ball over to Vangerman on the left-hand side. He puts the ball in. It's headed away, and Lima just wide. Noah Okafor's having a poor game. We might have to get some bits on after all. So we pick it up again with Lookman and Adams combining down the right-hand side. Lovely little move. Lookman cuts inside. He's gone for it. And it's just wide again. So we're on the hour mark. We are going to make that change. Okafor is going to come off. Sabitzer's going to come on, and we're going to swap them back round. Get them both onto their more natural flanks. So that change will get made in a minute as Upamecano plays it into Lookman. Still down that right-hand side for now. Into Holm. Back to Haidara. To Lookman. It's a big ball over for Okafor. Is he going to do something before he goes off? No, the cross is blocked. Vangerman into Lima. Haidara's got it in space. Is he going to shoot? He is, but it's tame. And it's saved by Baumann. Big ball over the top. This is how they got us last time. Auburn heads away, but again it's poor. It's straight to Kramaric. And Geiger out wide to Stafilidis. Out to Ox. It's another big ball in, and Voga collects. Again, to anyone that gets offended by the pronunciation, I'm so sorry. I promise I'm trying to do better. And Tyler Adams, he's just given it straight away, but Ampadu wins it back. And then he gives it away. We are very scrappy the last couple of games. Rupp plays it into Kramaric. It falls back to Rupp as it comes out to Brenne. And it's a penalty. Fantastic. That's Vangerman. He's already booked. I think he's going to be sent off. So it looks like Noah Jean Holm might be getting the full game after all. And there's Vangerman's second yellow card. He's off. And what do we do now? I guess it's going to have to be Ampadu that gets sacrificed. I'm not a huge fan of having to put Holstenberg on the pitch, to be honest, but he's the only left back in the squad. So we'll do that. Holstenberg can come on. And we're going to have to change Haidara as well. We'll put him as a deep line playmaker. And we're just going to have to try and sit and do what we can. Hopefully, Mvogo can pull off some magic with the penalty. It is Kramaric, and it's in. It's 2-1 Hoffenheim. And we're in trouble here. We are absolutely in trouble. If this carries on into the league, we're not winning it. Not by a long stretch. Bayern Munich are too good. And they will go too long without losing a game for us to be able to try and pick up results with this sort of morale. We need to do something. But I'm not sure what the answer is, to be honest. As Geiger puts in the corner for Hoffenheim and Voga collects, he has been the shining light since he's come into the team. And Voga has been absolutely awesome. It's a big ball. Holm nods down. And Lookman plays out to Halstenberg. Cross is blocked. Halstenberg will chase it down. Plays it into Auburn, who plays to Lima. A nice little passing move. Halstenberg tries the big ball over the top, but it's headed away. And Hoffenheim collect again with Zuber. Out to Rupp on the right-hand side. And he's cutting through us. Zuber, and it's an unbelievable finish. It's 3-1 Hoffenheim. And we are absolutely done. Unbelievable. We have been so poor. This is the worst performance I've seen from us all season. The stats don't really tell the whole story. I've never, even the games that we've lost before, I've never seen us play this badly. We've just, even though we went ahead, we just never look like winning. They don't look like they care. Dynamics are having a massive say at the minute. If we carry on like this, I don't know what we do. Aggressively, I'm far from pleased. I'm not going to tell them to be in training because that might make them even more upset. At the minute, I think it's just going to have to be damage limitation. Oh boy. Oh dear. So, the next few games could be interesting. We will be back for that Benfica doubleheader. We'll bring you home and away in the same episode and see if we can progress. Any games in between we'll play off camera. But it's make or break time. You see there's not long left of the season. We do have that incredible doubleheader again there at the end. Dortmund, Bayern Munich. They could be two huge games. But first we need to ride out this rough patch and see if we can steady the ship. So that's it for today's episode, guys. If you did enjoy that, please leave a like on it for me. It does help the channel to grow massively and it does mean a lot to me. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss any content. And thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.